Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Razak at CMTrading. Today is August 11th, 2022, and today is Thursday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, the market soar on this inflationary report out of the United States yesterday. But first, major economic events of today. At 2:30 South African time out of the United States, we do have a producers price index coming out. Now looking at the various markets, starting out with the Forex symbols. All the major pairs, the euro, the British pound, and the Australian dollar, all gained versus the USD. And looking at the indices, the NASDAQ and the Dow Jones both soar yesterday. And looking at commodities, gold falters at that resistance level, and oil has a slight gain. Now looking at the stocks, it's the FANG stock plus Microsoft that gained the most. And lastly, looking at Bitcoin, did gain yesterday. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go. We're looking at the Euro USD at a daily chart. And look at this. A nice little gain here as this got a little bit of a lift yesterday. And you can see that quite clearly. Now looking at a 4-hour chart, you could see there's no real resistance here until we get into 130, 350-ish level, which we're not even close to. We're at 312 level, so we do have some more to gain here on the upside, but just be aware of it. There may be a correctional move on the downside, as this usually happens, but the fade is not happening so clearly. Looking at the GBP USD, it soared, but that retracement isn't happening so quickly, so this is a little bit deceiving, where I would expect it to make a correctional move after the initial spike. It's not happening right here. Looking at the Australian dollar also, we're looking at a daily chart here, 7093, and it is gained somewhat, but again, it's faltering here at that upper level. Australian dollar always stronger versus USD versus the other pairs, so that is still consistent here. Now looking at commodities, looking at gold here, we traded just about as week to week, not doing much, okay? We're at 1786. It's trading in a very tight range as we've retraced from our 1800-ish level. Now looking at crude oil, we're trading at $91 a barrel. Okay, a nice little pop up this morning as well. Now looking at the major indices, looking at the Dow Jones, trading at 33,300-ish level. Now this is resistance-ish level, believe it or not. This is somewhat of 50% of where we're kind of like we're at the top versus where we are on the bottom. So this is 50%. This is a normal retracement and a normal challenge right back to our highs, okay, at least for the short term, okay? Whether or not we're going to sell off later is another story, and that story may change depending on what the economic data is going to continue bringing out next month. Now looking at the NASDAQ also gained nicely and pushed higher here to 13,450. Now we do have resistance here, so just be aware of it. We might hit some turbulence at these levels. But looking at the individual stocks, let's start looking at Apple. Nice gap and go up to 169, so a big recovery there. If you look at Facebook, also a big recovery there to 178. Microsoft, big move up to 289. That's a major move up as well. So it's a little bit of short squeeze covering, right? A lot of people are short the markets right now. So when we do have positive news, that news gets inflated just because you have people that are short and they're covering the shorts on the way up. So just be aware of that. And lastly, looking at Bitcoin, look at this. We're gained up to 24,500. That's a major push higher, because if you remember, we've never closed at this level. Okay, day to day we're still at 24,500, so this may start to be a beginning of something where we do have a breakout, especially if it does break above 25,000. It could continue going higher as well, so keep that in mind. This is Razak. I want to wish everybody a great trading day. Thank you.